Hey there, y'all. Well, tonight I have some sad news. Our dogs became the predators on our homestead. So I was taking care of Gwendolyn and a diaper she had, and all of a sudden I heard this commotion. Well, Gwendolyn's now at the stage where she rolls over really easily, and so I couldn't just leave her on the changing table, and I wasn't willing to put her in the crib and, run the risk of a big mess and all that. So I wanted to tend to my child first. So I took care of her, got her cleaned up, got her safely in her crib, and then I went outside to see what was going on. Malachi went with me because with Justin working now, Malachi is needing to be closer to us, and he doesn't like leaving us out of his, or having us leave his sight. And so anyway, we went over to the area in the front where the rabbits are located, where I thought the commotion was being heard, where I thought I heard the commotion. Anyway, it wasn't any of those rabbits. They were all safe, but I only saw Colt come. And that's pretty odd. Usually Jane will come. Sometimes it takes her a little longer, but she comes. So Malachi and I went back through the house to come to the backyard because I needed to turn the back lights on. And I saw the dogs over there somewhat hidden. And that was kind of a, something's going on, because they were both at one spot. And sure enough, it was one of our Californian rabbits. In fact, it was the doe that had given birth a few weeks ago, but she had lost all of them. Of course, it was the coldest night that we'd had thus far, and she decided to have her kits, and she lost them before we got home and saw that she had had them. Now, she had her nesting box, so it wasn't because of that. It was just the conditions, and honestly, we aren't sure if she was a first-time mother or not. It was one of the rabbits we got from our neighbor, so we're not sure what that history was. But anyway, back to tonight. It could have been Jane by herself that did the actual killing of the rabbit, but I'm confident that it was both dogs that worked that latch off the cage and pulled the rabbit out of that cage. I was the one that forgot to double check that particular gate to make sure that it was closed. And so because I failed to make sure that that gate was locked, the two of them were back here unsupervised. Now, Jane is frequently in the backyard because even when we have both gates closed and locked, she jumps the fence. She's a German Shepherd, and fences do not keep her. In fact, I have seen her run and totally clear the fence without even touching a paw to it, going to the neighbor's property. So it's very difficult to keep her contained in any place. So, it was because they were together back here that it all of a sudden occurred. So, I feel a little bit guilty for not having gotten out here sooner, but I prioritize my own child over the livestock. As much as we love the animals, we have to take care of our babies first. And even if I had just gotten Gwen, put her in the crib, and just taking care of whatever mess later, I still don't know that I would have been able to rescue the rabbit, because once the dogs get a hold of it, no telling what kind of damage may have already been done by that point, because dogs can do damage quickly. But I know it was a fresh kill because of the situation that I found when I got over there, but there was no way of saving her. She, cover your ears if you have a squeamish tummy, but she had already been decapitated at that point. They hadn't had a chance to start working on her past that. So I know that commotion and that noise that I was hearing was in fact our dogs being the predator, hunting the prey. And so we've lost one of our key does on the homestead, and that's very disappointing. and because it was so late at night, and because I wasn't set up and ready to do anything, and we need to get ready for bed, to prepare for the next day and the rest of the week, I didn't have time to try to figure out something to do with her, to put her in the freezer. Plus, by that point, I didn't, the blood wasn't draining, and I didn't want to keep that meat. It may have been fine, but I just made the decision this time that it wasn't worth keeping that. And I hate waste, but sometimes when bad stuff happens, there's not a whole lot you can do, because your options are more limited. Anyway, so the word of caution is make sure to double check your gates. And that was my fault. And then also remember that your own dogs, your own animals, your own pets can sometimes revert back to the wild side and be the predator to your livestock. So you just got to make sure that they are adequately secure. And so we now know that that cage is not secure with just that latch. And so we will have to add another latch if and when we put another rabbit in that cage, just to make sure that this doesn't happen again. Sorry for the bad news, but that's life on a homestead. Stuff happens. Hope y'all have a blessed day, and we'll catch y'all again soon.